The so-called spearhead of NATO should be able to intervene quickly in crisis situations with up to 40,000 soldiers. In view of the conflict with Russia, it is now preparing for an operation, according to a report at least. Tensions between NATO and Russia over the Russian troop deployment on the border with Ukraine continue unabated. According to a media report, the Western military alliance has now taken the first concrete military step and increased the operational readiness of the Rapid Action Force. According to the German newspaper Welt, the so-called NATO spearhead has to be ready for deployment within 5 days since this Monday to move to a crisis area. The Very High Readiness Joint Task Force, the VJTF, is NATO's fastest reaction force. It is part of the NATO Response Force, the NRF, a multinational, quickly deployable task force that comprises up to 40,000 soldiers. The NRF is responsible for national and alliance defense, as well as global crisis management. It was last used in the evacuation measures from Afghanistan. The spearhead VJTF is constantly on alert and can now mobilize up to 20,000 soldiers within a few days and move them to crisis areas. It was founded in 2014 as a result of the annexation of Crimea by Russia. Since then, as in the Cold War, NATO has increasingly relied on deterrence. The NATO member states would decide on a deployment of the VJTF at a political level. The alliance country responsible in accordance with a rotation principle every year then decides again separately. In theory, there are always 3 nations ready for action with different response times. And interesting fact, the leading association currently comes from Turkey. The Turkish troops are therefore in the standby phase and should be ready for action within 2 to 7 days. Last year's leading association, currently the Polish one, is in the stand-down phase, so it can be mobilized within 30 days. The next leading association, France, will be ready within 45 days. Germany, where I live, last held the VJTF leadership in 2015 and will take over again in 2023. In the next year, the German troops will switch to the stand-up phase with the 45 days until they are ready for action. 13,600 Bundeswehr soldiers are earmarked for this, 70% more than in previous years. There are also a good 3,000 soldiers from other areas such as medical services or logistics. And now I have a little bit of information for you regarding myself this time, because this is my last video until Monday. Because this year I'll take 2 days off for Christmas for once, never done that before. After more than 3,000 videos, or quite more than 3,000 videos on all of my channels this year, well, I'll treat myself to that. Incidentally, in Germany, today is the day on which we open our presents. In other countries, that's tomorrow. And both Christmas days are public holidays in Germany, by the way. And if you have any special traditions for Christmas, please write them in the comments. I'm always curious to see if and how my audience will celebrate Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I still wish you a quiet weekend and some rest. But don't end the video now. I have a special treat for you if you want to get into kind of a more Christmas mood. And the end of the videos will be different in every video today on all my channels. So enjoy. And don't fight, be festive. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Joyeux Noël, Frohlich Gerstfest und frohe Weihnachten.